Yo, 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 welcome to the show. Welcome to the Social Sunshine Podcast, episode 222. I am your hostess, Brittany Crossan. Thanks so much for being back for another episode. I want to talk to you today about social media for local businesses. And when I say local business, I mean like a business that is serving a certain geographical area. Like if your clients and customers, need to live or work close by to you, this is for you. I'm going to give you my top 4 social media tips for that scenario. So whether you're a small business owner, that you do have a local business, or maybe you're a social media manager that has clients that are local businesses, or you're one of the employees at the business and one of the things you do is help with social media for the business. If it's a local business, this is for you. So top 4 social media tips. These are things that are pretty simple to do. It's not complicated, but they can be overlooked. And also when things are kind of like simple and they're kind of easier, it's not so hard, they can actually kind of be dismissed as being not that important. But these are things that are important. They're going to help your local business. Okay, so all right, we got 4 here. The first one is hashtags. Now, hashtags have different levels of importance on different social media platforms. Like I would say that they're the most important still on Instagram. This is right now what we're in, like fall of 2023. So just to give you an idea, in case you're listening to this later, because we all know that things on social media can change often. So for now, hashtags are a big deal on Instagram still. If someone tells you they're not, they're wrong. I'm just going to be bold and just go ahead and say they're wrong, because as of right now, they are a big deal on Instagram still. They are not dead. Instagram still doesn't have as good of like a search ability as like say TikTok does. So just having keywords and a caption on Instagram isn't quite enough. It's getting better. They're getting better at having searchable stuff on Instagram, but hashtags are still really valid. You don't have to have a ton of them. You don't have to use 20 or 30 of them, but use anywhere from 3 to 5, 3 to 6, 30, just at least just use a few. But I bring up hashtags because you can use local hashtags, and this is just going to take a little bit of effort, right? You're just going to need to look them up literally in the search on the social media platform. You're going to like, I might look up, since I'm based in Houston, I might look up like hashtag Houston marketing agency, right? Like if I wanted to post something on social for Fun Love Media for my company, I might search that and see if that looks like a good hashtag to use in my post so that people locally might find me easier. Now, if you're wondering how do I find out if that's a good hashtag or not, sometimes it's trial and error, honestly. And so you just, you experiment, but also just kind of a good, like, a good little guideline that I like to use is like hashtags that haven't been used too few of times, but also not too many times. So if it's super vague and I just did like say hashtag Houston, well that's really vague and that doesn't give us any extra information like to like describe that Fun Love Media is a social media agency, right? So like you got to have a little more than that, because then I'm just going to be in a sea of posts that have used hashtag social media. And that's like millions and millions and millions. And it's not really going to necessarily help me be found. Maybe that would work well with an account that's huge, like a really big account with millions of followers. Maybe you could be more vague, but most businesses should not. But also being too specific, like having your own like custom branded hashtags. Now that's really fun and cool. Like if you want that as a part of your branding or business and y'all have your own custom hashtag and you try to use it all the time and stuff, and that's great, but that's not going to help people find you. So you want to get a little bit more specific. So like I said earlier, it's like I might look up like Houston marketing agency, or, a Houston social media, what, like just get a little bit more specific. Now, if the hashtag's been used too few times, like if you look and the hashtag's being used like I would say like less than 1,000 times ever, then it's like, well, it's like nobody's really ever like using those or searching those. So it's not enough. You want to be in between. Want it be not too many uses and not too few. Again, hashtags are really important on Instagram. You can also use hashtags everywhere. You can use them on TikTok. You can use them on Facebook. You can use them on LinkedIn. As of right now, fall 2023, you cannot use them on Threads. But you can use them on Twitter. And it's going to take some experimenting, but that's some kind of good guidelines for you. But definitely local hashtags, things that are relevant to your local area. All right. And then Um, the second thing is geotags, like putting in the location. You know how when you go to make a social media post, you can actually like tell it the location of where you are in the post, and you can do that on most platforms. Do that. And now if you're say, I'm going to keep using Houston as an example. So Houston's a big city. So Fun Love Media is actually in Houston proper, like the city of Houston, right? So I could put my location on Instagram or on Facebook or TikTok as Houston, but also every once in a while, if I want to kind of like rotate him through and kind of do some alternate locations, I could actually use other parts of Houston or more, excuse me, specific parts of Houston as the location just to kind of try to get some attention from those areas. So I might just say Houston, Texas, right, on most of the posts, but like there have been times where I used downtown Houston because maybe we shot something downtown. It's like, why not get more specific and say that we were in a certain part of the area, right? So you might also use like a certain neighborhood. Like if we were really trying to get more clients in one of the suburbs, like say in Sugar Land, which is one of the Houston suburbs, maybe we would use Sugar Land related hashtags with our Fun Love Media posts sometimes. I'm sorry, geotags, not hashtags. Oh my gosh. Location, putting in the location of Sugar Land since it's a suburb and maybe we were trying to like get more clients there, right? So putting in the location is so freaking easy, and you never know when that could help, because not only could someone search for like social media agency in Houston and that would help them find, but even if they don't put that in, the algorithm, the platform might still show people in the Houston area our content more if we actually label it as being Houston. But if you don't label where your location and you're a local business, then it's just going to be a freaking mystery, and the platform and the people, and nobody's going to be able to find you as easily. Okay, so we got hashtags, geotags, putting in your location. The third one is Facebook events. This is something that is super, super handy for local businesses. And, actually, we recently had a really great example at Fun Love Media of a local business. So we have one client right now that's actually in the Kansas City area because I have a team member that lives there and she handles their account, and it's a wine bar and brewery, and they're in a city called Platte City, Missouri. And it's like a suburb kind of Kansas City. And they used, she uses all of these things when she does all their social media content, but the Facebook event thing was really great because recently they had a grand opening, which I actually was able to travel to Kansas City and go to that. It was really fantastic. But they used a Facebook event to get the word out about the grand opening. And that's the kind of thing that works really well for like location-based stuff. Like we can use Facebook events for a virtual business or an online business. Of course, that's fine. But man, for a local one, I don't know if you notice if you use Facebook yourself, but you might see events be like recommended to you or pop up or show you nearby events and stuff. And that's just built into the platform. That's just like a bonus for you if you use that feature. So highly recommend that if you're having any kind of an event, it could be a weekend sale, a special weekend sale that you're having at your store or at your business. It could be, it could be like with that client of ours, like a grand opening, right? Or it could be some other kind of an event. But anytime throughout the year you're having any sort of an event where people would need to know that at a specific day and time something's happening, use a Facebook event and then invite people and spread the word and share it and all the things. It's a really, really helpful tool, and it's not that hard to do a Facebook event. Okay. And then the fourth one is get local influencers and leaders involved. So, you might have the kind of business where if you have some local influencers, people that are really active on social media that have a good engaged following, right? Like you might want them, like if you were opening up, say, a coffee shop, and you knew that there are these local influencers that go to places, they go to coffee shops, they go to restaurants locally, and they post about it and they make these really cool videos and all that. you would want to be in touch with them, and you want to work out a thing where they'll come and they'll create content at your coffee shop, and that's really valuable to have that, especially if you're organized about it and you have a routine and you work with a certain amount of influencers a certain amount of times per year. It can be honestly extremely valuable because they know how to create content, and so that's good, right? Or they should. It should be good quality content. And also they're like vouching for you. So it's not you saying how great your coffee shop is. It's like awesome influencer Sally, who everybody knows because she's all about town, always going to the cool places, and they really trust her. And she's vouching for you, saying, yeah, this coffee shop is amazing. Y'all should go. And that's really valuable. And I think that people kind of think that maybe like working with local influencers is like some sort of big business thing or some sort of like out of reach thing or some kind of fancy thing that bigger companies do, but it's extremely valuable with smaller businesses and also local businesses, even if your community isn't that big. And that's why I said local influencers and leaders. So even if you live in such a small community that you don't really, it's kind of difficult to like find an actual like social media content creator, right? Maybe you can't find that very easily if you live in a smaller town, but you could find local leaders that say, let's go with the coffee shop example, right? So if you are opening up your coffee shop and there's local leaders, maybe like the local chamber of commerce or other business owners, people that are just known in the community, see what kind of collaboration you can work out with them to like have them in a video or have them in some photos and like have them also share it to their socials, and when you collaborate with people like this, whether it's a local leader, influencer, whatever, it might cost you money, and that's okay. Like you're paying for something for them, especially the influencer, like, cause you're paying for them to create a video about your business. And that's okay. But sometimes you don't have to. If it's more of a beginner influencer and maybe they don't charge money yet or whatever, you're providing them free product. So if you have that really great coffee shop, you're telling them you can come in and you're going to get free coffee and free pastries and and treat them really well when they come in, accommodate them, whatever they need and all of that. And they might do it just for that trade, like if they're more of a beginner. So you never know, but it's really, really, powerful, a good idea. It's just about though being organized with it and actually doing it all throughout the year and it being like a consistent thing that's just a part of your overall marketing strategy. I think that's where it kind of can go wrong. Like people think that they work with a local influencer and that person creates a really cool video for their business like one time, and like that's not enough. One time is never enough in marketing. So, it just needs to be an ongoing thing. Okay. So, those were the 4 things of my top 4 social media tips for local businesses, people dealing with a certain geographical area. So it's hashtags, geotags, Facebook events, and collaborating with local influencers and local leaders. If you can do all 4 of those things in your social media marketing on a regular basis, I really, really genuinely believe that it's going to make a big difference. We've seen a huge difference in our clients at Fun Love Media whenever we do these sorts of things, and they're not that hard to do. So I hope this is helpful. Please reach out to the show or to me if you ever have any questions. You can message us on Instagram, or we're on TikTok, we're on LinkedIn, obviously we're on YouTube, on all the things. So am I have all my accounts. So please reach out if you ever have any questions, if you have any topic requests for us or any guest requests, somebody that you think is really great on social media that you might want to see on the show. I would love, love, love to hear from you. All right. Thank you so much for listening and for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.